So the beta for Battlefield 1 has just dropped, and I've been playing it for the past 2 days now, and I probably logged in a good 15 hours into it, so I wanted to give my little impressions on the game, and how I think Battlefield 1 is shaping up. Now, I absolutely adore this beta. It does have its problems, that's for sure, it does have its problems, but it's doing a lot of things right now. The first thing I want to talk about is the options menu. Now, a lot of people won't delve into the options menu, they'll just ignore it entirely. But if you delve into it, you'll find that you can fine tune your soldier pretty much however you see fit. And I think that's absolutely incredible. I think having the freedom to customize your soldier in every possible way, from vehicles to the soldier itself to how guns work, it's a great thing that they're doing there. And a lot of people will miss that. They won't they won't actually delve in and muck around with that. But if you're that type of person that wants to customize your soldier specifically for you, then take a look at it. Now, the game also does have an FOV slider, which is something that I think a lot of people on consoles that have played on PC before really wanted. So we don't have No Man's Sky like FOV, which was absolutely horrendous. I still don't get why they put their FOV so bloody low. But consoles have an FOV slider. Now, if you're into FOV sliders, then you're set. You're fine. It's great that they've added it, and I'm hoping Titanfall 2 has it, because like Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1 beta is spot on, incredible. I'm looking forward to both games. I think both have a real shot at being Game of the Years when they come out. And I mean, these are just the beta and alpha. We haven't seen the full game yet, and I have high hopes for both. Now, the sound design in Battlefield 1, from planes whooshing over your head to the sound of gunfire in the distance to the crack of a sniper bullet going straight past your head, Battlefield always seems to nail the sound design in their games, and they've done a great job here. And because World War One guns aren't really all that common anymore, they're really rare to find. To actually hear some of these weapons, even if they aren't the actual weapons themselves, but close to it, they all sound incredible. I mean, as a history buff myself, as someone who is fascinated with weaponry, with Old World War, which is where Battlefield belongs, in my opinion, Old World War, it's nice to hear these weapons being fired. And I when I first got in the game, I just sat there firing all the possible weapons that I could, listening to the sound of them, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And they've nailed it. It's spot on. And now let's talk about gameplay. Now, the game runs at a solid 60 frames per second on both PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Now, I think it's at 1080p on all of them as well. PC can go higher, of course, because I mean it's PC. But for a game to run at 1080 and 60 on consoles at the same time is actually pretty rare. And it's good to see DICE making Battlefield 1 run at 1080 and 60. Now, Titanfall 2 did the same thing, and I think EA is nailing it with that. They're actually doing what fans want. They're utilizing the power of these consoles, and they're both consoles can run 1080 and 60. They can. It's easy. There are games that do that run 1080 and 60. It's just up to the developers. Now, when Neo and the Scorpion come out next year, there's no reason why games shouldn't be running at 1080 and 60. There's no reason why games should be running at 30 and 920. So I'm hoping that this starts to become a trend where games will start running at higher frame rates and resolutions together and not separately. Now, the gameplay, there is the classic Battlefield destruction, which we've all come to love. You can create sand dunes, which is awesome. So you can throw a grenade into the desert and create a sand dune, hide in it and snipe from it, or hide in it from enemies as a tank's going over. it's it's really fun. It's something that I enjoy in a Battlefield game. It's something that I think the best time it's ever been done, best destruction's ever been done, is in the Bad Company series. I think that's when destruction was at its best. And Battlefield 1 doesn't seem to be as destructible as that game, but I mean, we've only seen one map, so, you know. The problems with this game, though, the problems with this game are the fact that snipers, okay, so if you've played Rush, you know what I'm talking about. It's where your teammates and enemy teammates, or enemies, will sit in the spawns of their area, and they'll snipe each other from across the way, and they'll snipe onto the battlefield. Now, I think this is just wrong, because there's a return to battlefield prompt that comes up if you run into enemy territory where they're sniping from, which means that you can't get to them unless you're using a sniper. And I think that's kind of a cheap way to play the game. You know, I think something needs to be done to prevent that, to actually get both sides of the teams out onto the battlefield fighting each other rather than camping in their spawns. I think there needs to be a timer that pushes people out into the actual battlefield itself. Now, another thing that annoys me about this game is the freezing. So I'll be running along and the game will freeze, or I'll open up the start menu and the game will freeze. Now, that's probably just a bug in the beta, but it is annoying. It needs to be fixed, and I hope that it's sorted by the time the beta ends. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk about was, I think probably the best thing about this game is, like, the gameplay itself, is the power-ups that you get during the game. Now, you can, if you're lucky, you can call in an armored train, so the person who calls it in is actually driving it, but you can have a whole group of people on the turrets on the train just firing off everywhere, and it's really fun to use. If I can get some gameplay of it, I will add it to this video or make a separate video on it. Then you got a sniper that one hit kills. You got an LMG that gives you more health. From what I've noticed, you get more health while you're holding it, but I don't really like it. I tend to just avoid it. And then you got the flamethrower. Now, we've seen the flamethrower in trailers, and I think the range on that flamethrower is ridiculously broken. But again, these are all my opinions. I like the vehicles, I like how the game's going, I love flying the old school planes, I love the dogfights and having the turrets on the front of the planes. I love how I can have other people in the planes with me at the same time, firing from behind and in front. But I mean, again, this beta is just incredible. If you haven't played it, go download it now. It's on all 3 platforms. And I mean, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I will be covering Battlefield 1 when it comes out, with a review, with a walkthrough, and with guides. So if you're on this channel and you're looking forward to it, you know, yeah. I don't read from scripts, so, you know, I'm off in my own little world sometimes. Tell me what you like about the beta in the comments. If you're enjoying it, if you plan on getting it, what you don't like, what you do like, and if you want to play, my PSN and Xbox Live gamer tag is in the description. I will see you guys later. Peace.